Hey, what's up, Mr. Sex? I didn't think you'd make it. Glad you're here, though. Oh, I'm gonna get back set down. We'll wait a few minutes so people show up on here, and then we'll begin to talk about the things we came to talk about. For reference, our picture today was a GHI in with the Mojave, hoping to get a lock. They're not locked right now, but they're up. They're close. I mean, they're tail to tail, so we're gonna be locked here very, very soon, which is exciting. So I'm very happy about that. All right. Well, that was quick. We're up to almost 70 people already. So the first thing I want to address now that people are in here is something that's kind of local to Manhattan, Kansas. And if you notice today, I am not wearing my normal attire. We're wearing K-State, of course, K-State hat. The reason we're doing that is today, here in Manhattan, for anybody who's a college football fan, we have to say goodbye to a legend. And today, Bill Snyder announced his retirement. And for those who aren't football fans, you're like, okay, no big deal. Let me tell you why it's a big deal. Because without that man here in our community doing some of the things he's done, we probably wouldn't even have a football program. They were going to get rid of it, or they were thinking about it. And he did orchestrate the greatest turnaround in college football history. Has been a staple and a figure in Manhattan for 30 years now, and will continue to be in retirement. On top of that, just in general, if you ever got the chance to meet him, he was more than just a football coach. He cared about the community. He cared about the people. He cared about the players. He cared about everybody involved. And he, was just a great inspiration to a lot of people around here. And also really pushed the city of Manhattan to new heights as far as having more buildings built and more things, and he will be greatly missed. So for anybody who knows who Bill Snyder is, just know we'll all definitely be missing him here in Manhattan, Kansas. And thank you, Bill Snyder, for your 27 years of coaching, and I hope you can enjoy your retirement with your family. And although I know you'll never stop thinking about football probably ever. When the guy's 79, he still shows up to work every day at 4 in the morning, right? And working till late evening. And there will never be anybody who can accomplish what he accomplished in a place like this again. Now, I mean, the next coach can't be very successful. He can, but coming to what we were and turning that ship around in a place like this is nothing short of phenomenal. So, Bill, thank you so much. And that's why the road is named after you. That's why the stadium is named after you, and why you'll always be remembered here fondly in Manhattan, Kansas. And I agree with that, Cole. He did. He did. I mean, he didn't always have low talent. We always say, oh, he did so little talent. And at times that was true, but there was also times the guy had Darren Sproles, Terrence Newman, Michael Bishop. So there was sometimes we had some talent on there, but there were other times we really didn't have that much, and he was still finding ways to win. And he also found ways to help write children's books. People don't realize that, but there's Bill Snyder children's books and everything else. And yes, actually, when that name got suggested, that's how we spell it, because we did name the cat after the great football coach. It's one of those things, right? Most people name their cat here in Manhattan Willie because it's Willie the Wildcat. We just named our Snyder and rolled with that. All right, so that's all we got for the happy times. He is from the Hayden Fry coaching tree. That is absolutely right. And he kind of made his own coaching tree, and it'll be interesting to see if our next coach happens to be have fallen from that tree, as many coaches have. Bob Stoops fell from that tree. Mark Mangino fell from that tree. Jim Levitt, Brent Venables, and you can go on the list of coaches who coached under Snyder or with Snyder at some point in time. So, yes. Now, Wayne, you hit the next thing I want to talk about. And that's the fact that I'm kind of pissed. For those that watch us all the time, man, we just did a video that I was really happy with. We can't do feed videos. Everybody else can do feed videos. Shit, I just saw somebody who was feeding a damn Cobra shit on here. And they can do it, and that's fine, and YouTube doesn't care. But the minute we do a feed video, everybody loses their shit. And it really pisses me off. So we did a feed video, and I like doing feed videos. I think there's a point to doing feed videos. And you'll stop him from leaving. Stop him from leaving. We'd love to keep him around. But well, no, this is like the minute, like we did this one on the carpet python, and we don't even have a live feed video in it, you know. And it's not the haters. Like on some of them it is the haters. We got some, you know, animal rights activists, D-bags, who will complain anything they can and probably shouldn't even be around. But the simple fact is, this video, the minute I posted it, boom, posted it, demonetized. I was like, what the hell, you know? And it was bullshit. So that was all YouTube, because nobody had even seen it yet. So we've already appealed it, and it's over 1,800 views. Actually, it's over 2,000 views, and it's already been demonetized from the word go, and they haven't reviewed it yet. And what pisses me off about it is we didn't even feed anything live to a snake. The point of the video was that some snakes won't eat certain things. So we put a live rat in with a carpet python to prove the carpet python wouldn't even eat the live rat. We switched to frozen thawed and it ate that. So we thought they wouldn't care. You know what I mean? And they still shit all over it. So whoever the moderators are at YouTube, or whoever is setting up that system to crawl over the videos and look for something, you guys need to fix it. Because not you guys as our viewers, I'm talking directly to YouTube on that. Because you suck at life, right? It's horrid, you know? Yeah, exactly, Todd Autry. It is the dumbest thing ever. And it is not consistent. That's my other problem with you, YouTube. You're not consistent in how you apply your rules. It doesn't apply to the same people the same way, and that's bullshit. It is 100% bullshit. I mean, I don't know what else I can say. So you need to start applying your rules across the board fairly, or stop, because you suck at it. Your bots suck, your moderators suck, and whatever asshole you have assigned to my channel, you know, we showed how we faked a rattlesnake bite, how we faked it. Like, we showed the makeup, we showed all that. They demonetized that. When we appealed it, they said, no, our demonetization decision stands. For what? Showing how to do fucking makeup? Are you serious? For showing you that nothing bad happened and telling you we would never do what caused the bad things to happen? I mean, ugh. Right, there's that, and still, we're even getting back to that. Because I've tried just to let it go, but man, it's bullshit. Like, and I think what I imagine, I guess my brain sees it like, you know, they assign a person to so many channels, and there's a problem that comes up, and whoever's assigned to our channel, I bet has a fucking card in their wallet that says PETA on it. You know, ugh, it's driving me up a wall. Yeah, see, if I did a live feeding video, we did it once. We did one feeding live. We just did it. And we did it to a rattlesnake. And then after we did it, we didn't monetize it. We made it not public after we did it live. So, hey, Semper Fidelis, you can eat my, I'll be nice. I'll just be nice right now. If you don't like what you're watching, dude, then just leave. You know what I mean? Like, who is this guy? One, Semper Fidelis. I'm going to bet that you probably aren't anything I should be using the Semper Fidelis anyway. And if you are, then thank you for your service, but you're still a piece of shit. So, for the most part, if you don't like what I do, then don't watch. I don't really care. Leave. Bye. Semper Fidelis. And there's also moderators now that will take care of troll, stupid people like that guy, if needs be. You know, but he does. He does a lot of like frozen thawed feeding, which is what we did with the carpet pythons. That's why we thought it'd be okay. And then, boom, it's not. It's just, it just pisses me off. So, and the one time we did one and we took it down right away, it was only done for live, then all the rest of our videos took a hit on their views, like within an hour. Oh, man. See, Ariana, does she still get to do it? I don't know. I don't have time to watch her, but that's a good question. I know she does a feed Pet Fridays, and more power to her. I hope it works for her, but I don't know if they let her do it anymore or not. I know I couldn't do that. Shit, if I did that, I'd be demonetized. I would get community strikes, and I'd be kicked off of here. Like, they've literally given me community strikes. I had to appeal. You know what I mean? Yeah, he feeds frozen thawed on film, Josh. That's what I was saying. And that's why, like, when we did the carpet python, we thought we'd be okay because it was a frozen thawed feeding. Wasn't a live feeding. That's why it says live feeding gone wrong. Like, carpet python won't eat live. The point of the video is you got to give your snake what's best suited to your snake. If your snake will only eat one thing, don't try to force change it. Do what's best for it. And that was the whole point of it. Yet, we still got screwed. And by now, since I appealed it, I'm sure they probably reviewed it and they probably decided the demonetization stand. Which, if that's the case, then YouTube can, I so hope that one day somebody else builds a platform and has a better monetization than YouTube, or at least equal to it. And if somebody builds it, we're going to go. I'm telling you now, creators will go. They'll go in droves. You know what I mean? They will. So if anybody from, I don't know, Facebook, although I hate you sometimes too, because of the just the negativity in some of the groups, not the actual way it's ran. But from there, or from Amazon sees this, or anybody else, please build a competing system. Please. Because at least if there's competition, either YouTube will clean it up, or people will leave them. They'll do posting on both for a while, and they'll start only doing it on Amazon. So I'm waiting for that day that somebody does. I really am. And man, I can't wait. I can't wait, because when it happens, I will gladly post on the competition. So that's what I'm wanting. The problem is the competition has to have more people on it. Reptile new LOL. Oh yeah, that's pretty funny. Well, I don't think I'd get very many things on that right now. Article 13, isn't that in the UK? Because I mean, Twitch does, but it's more for video games. I think it's short. So, who is leaving? Bill Snyder was who was leaving. That's who we were saying goodbye to, the great football coach in Manhattan. So, posting themselves on. Yeah, no joke. Like, let's do a whole bunch of views on me trying on underwear. Not me. Nobody wants to. People trying on underwear, and that's okay. But I show how we feed snakes and monitor it and things like that, and I get screwed. It is You're right. It's complete bullshit. See ya, Chris. I appreciate you always, man. I like live better, Clutch. I do. But the reason I like live better is because I feel like I get a better feed response on it. As far as health concerns go, it's kind of like either one. And what I mean by that is, everyone's like, well, live can carry parasites, and live can carry this, and live can carry that. And they can. I breed my own, so they shouldn't. But they can. However, if you look back in history, there was a frozen thaw that carried a disease that could lay dormant and then woke back up and was killing people's collections. So you have some issues there too. It can go either way, I've done that too, Sal. We did a whole video where, as a matter of fact, there's one where we do live feedings. That's one of our most viewed videos, where we open the tub, put the rat in, it would get hit and coiled. It didn't even show me in it except for the intro. We'd close it. Never showed the death, right? We were showing it so you could see it in slow motion, how strong that bite is and coil is. It was really so you could see that. And then, guess what? Still got demonetized. Right. But Logan Paul is one of their big people, so it's okay what he does. Free Olympic, no shit, right? I agree. Started before millions of eyes. And see, to me, that would be the one who's starving themselves to death. I'm not familiar with who that is, but they're truly doing that, and they're truly doing something that's overly unhealthy. That would be a bigger violation of YouTube policy than feeding your pet, because that would be portraying an unhealthy, like something that if people follow, they're going to get hurt. It's completely stupid, man. YouTube has gotten so far off the wagon, I don't even know. And that could be part of it, but in some ways, I mean, the demonetization sucks because getting paid is nice, but it's not even really about the money. Like, It hurts my subscriber growth. It hurts everything. It just pisses us off like to no end. And then until you put together a product and you try to obey the rules. And here's my other problem. Like, this is the biggest problem is whenever we get hit with something and I contact them and I say, why is this happening? So if I know what's going on, then I can at least, fix it. They don't respond to you. All they'll tell you is you must have violated some rule. And if you ever read those rules, they're so ambiguously written. I'm violating about 5 of them right now, probably. It's just, I didn't see the joke, Todd. I'm sorry. It's being taken over by liberals. Maybe. 50 to 6 is about right for humidity. I agree. It is people's being butthurt. See, I get it all the time. I don't know if somebody has personally got a bone to pick with me. I mean, maybe, you know what? I don't know what it is. But whatever it may be, they need to get over it. And YouTube needs to get over it because they're not doing it to just me. Like, it's happening to other people too. It's just one of those things that, they've never kept a community strike on us. We've always been able to get those removed. But I shouldn't have had to even have fought them, And I don't have a filter on my opinions, but why shouldn't I? Like, why should we filter our opinions? Reason I haven't shaved yet is because we raised enough money. We did over $400 for charity through our beard that they decided to let me keep it for December. So you'll get to see this crappy beard for one more month. Become the first of the year, it will be gone. So we're going to have a no shave November and keep growing the beard December, I guess. So probably. And that could be too, and I'm not going to censor myself too much. Like, there's certain things I do censor on here, I don't sit there and I don't try to talk politics. I don't try to talk, anything else. And there is certain, I guess, speech we don't allow on our channel. We're not going to allow hate speech. People have hate speech. We're going to throw them off. This is supposed to be a welcoming place for people from all walks of life, all religions, all creeds. I don't really care. It's about reptiles. Nobody died. Bill Snyder retired. We were just saying, peace out to one of the biggest legends in Manhattan, Kansas ever. So that's why we're sporting the K-State today to say goodbye and honor Bill Snyder. But the thing is, right, it is positive. And we're here for debates, and we're here to have some fun, and we're here to talk and learn about reptiles. But actually, I do, South Sound. I show a feed video on Patreon every single week. I do that because YouTube pissed me off. Yeah. Right. I get that. Not now, you probably can't. Andrew, you can still send one because they're going to take them through December. They decided to extend it, but we were only told people we're going to collect in November, so we're not going to really be pushing it now. But if you want to send a donation, we absolutely still take it. So, all right, Liz, get you some sleep. All right, so I've gone off on my rant. I want to know now, do you guys think I'm crazy? And feel free to be honest. And no, Axel, I don't. I read the ones I can, but a lot of them come in so quick I can't possibly see them all. So I guess you're saying no, you don't think I'm crazy. Then what should happen? Like, how do we deal with this? How do we express to YouTube that they're a bunch of A, assholes that do it in a nice way, and B, they need to lighten up and let us do what we want to do as long as we're not hurting anybody? How do we get that done? And again, how do we get an even playing field? That's a good one, Todd. So how do we, I've contacted them, I've emailed them, and I got told to shut up. So they actually refused to speak to me. Truth be told, I got told that they wouldn't speak to me because I didn't have 100,000 subscribers. Truth. That's what they said. Oh, you don't have 100,000 subscribers, we're not talking to you. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Yeah, that was a wow. I was like, ugh. And I agree. It's not, you're right, Seth. Not all libs are crazy. It's a matter of, when it comes to politics, whatever side you're on, there's crazy people on both. Like there just is. Oh, I really want 100K, but I wanted it before that. But I shouldn't have to get it to try to make that platform better. Like I shouldn't have to get to 100K to have them at least tell me what it is that they have a problem with. It's just. Well, we are as a channel monetized, man, and we haven't had a problem with that. But what the problem is certain videos get demonetized. Yeah, but to tell you what, some of those bigger guys, they don't want to ask them because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to rock who pays them. And I get that. I totally get that. They should fix this crap. They should, but I don't think they will. Yes, everybody who isn't, please do subscribe because we need more so YouTube will actually talk to us. And thank you, Blue Shield Royals. I do appreciate that. And absolutely been a fellow LEO for, God, now, since 2002. So a very, very, very long time. Oh, he's doing good. And see, that one, I think they let that one stand. I've got one where I feed a cottonmouth, and it stands. It's just weird, But in State 48, I don't have a problem with that. That's the thing. I really don't. But go read their rules. Their rules are like anything that could be this. Like they're not set rules. And so then I can do something. So I try to find out what I did. And yet I find that other people do the same thing and are allowed to do it, but I'm not. That's where I'm pissed. You know what I mean? That's what makes me angry. And Marshall, we'd have to give it over 1,000 first before to make a difference. Oh, they have. They've gone after my rattlesnake feedings. Trust me, they have. That was the first one they went to. What's up, DA? They smashed my timber rattlesnake feeding and demonetized it. So, Seth, right, Brian? They're so vague. The best thing to do. It doesn't take that long, I don't think. You just got to be careful all the time, and you got to just kind of have a different mindset when you're doing it. So, well, I know it's intentionally vague. I get that, but it's like still bullshit, that's the problem. Like when you don't have clear-cut rules, like I honestly considered challenging them on it, and because I could show that they allow others to do the same thing they don't allow us to do, and we would have challenged them based on discrimination for the choice of our emblem. Thought about it, but I just don't think it's worth the fight, and there's no way I'm going to get through their 10,000 lawyers. So. And part of it is, see, Greg Garrity, I think the AI. What I have an issue with is we put a video up way early, and they're supposed to flag it, and we're supposed to appeal it before it ever hits. We try to do that. This one was in the green until I hit post, and then it went to yellow. So, like, it just sucks, when they do that crap. They make it impossible to understand what's okay and not okay. And I have. I've actually even spoke to some. And we'd have a case, but you're not going to, the problem is trying to fight that through YouTube. You're not going to get it done. So basically, it just, yeah. I have never done a lizard eating crickets. I don't have any lizards to feed crickets to here at the house. So I don't know. And I would guess they probably wouldn't care about that. But I have no idea. But it's so frustrating, especially on this one, because we didn't even feed a snake a live rat. I've had that happen too, Seth. The funny part was we did that on a Patreon video. So I was like, you know what? Patreon, I'm not monetizing any of those. We don't run any commercials on our Patreon videos. They are just easy to consume. I'm sure people are already paying. They don't need to see a commercial. And so we set one up, and we ran music on it. However, we got thumped for that, and then they put ads on that video, even though we didn't monetize it, so Usher could get paid. True story. I probably made Usher like 10 cents, he should give me some free tickets, right? That would be a possibility, Alex, but I think if we did it, they would just, there's just so many attorneys to get through, so much red tape, and it'd be in California, and that court system is, yeah. Right, I know, right? Usher needed us to help him, but it's not Usher personally. Like they have their software that goes through and listens, and as soon as it hears it, it hits it. So that's what happens, you know. And I get that. I get that. So I was like, okay, I can live with that, you know. But I'm so frustrated with YouTube. Like we have tried so hard like to follow the rules, and even though we don't know what they are, we've asked what they are so we could try to follow the rules, and still, you know, we still get nailed. That's what drives me up the wall. Yeah, but I don't know if the ACLU would help me. You know, I'm in Kansas, Debbie, and I do think the ACLU does some great work, but they typically, I don't think, do that necessarily for Caucasian males very often. They tend to try to stand up for minorities, which is fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. But I don't think, you know, now if it was somebody else, they might want to do that and have some of those kids involved. That would be great. But I don't think they're going to, yeah. They have all recently eaten, and they're also in the middle of breeding. So, yeah, it's the other problem. She weighs one. Well, if she weighs that much and you recently got her, it's only been 3 weeks. Don't stress too much. Paul Cafaro, it sounds familiar. Sounds familiar, but I'm not sure why. You have to kind of help me out. Oh, I know. I probably will. You know, they looked at my back sign. It says, "Shh, snakes having sex." So, yeah. Like, here's an example. Speaking of clown gene, here's an example. This is a het clown, though. That female there who has a hide didn't eat for me forever. And we finally got her eating just recently by switching things up. And it was months. So 3 weeks, don't worry about it. Make sure she's settled in. Give her some time, and she probably will. As far as are we going to work with the clown gene, I would say we are. Yes, and I agree. Free speech is not something you can argue this case on because it's we all have free speech, and I can say whatever I want to say, but that doesn't mean that they have to allow it on their forum. You know what I mean? And so they have the right to ban certain speech on their forum, and I support their right to do so. I just wish their right was applied across the board, or that when there's a problem, they would tell me what the problem is, which they refuse to do. Somebody asked about Trouser. Trouser's doing just fine. Trouser's in some mess in there right now because he is going to be breeding, and she looks really small, but remember he's a 3,500 gram female. So that's all I want, just some equal ways of applying it, I guess would be the best way to put it. Yeah. We actually just pulled the carpet out, so probably leave it alone. We pulled it out on Patreon, one of them. So need more clickbait titles. Yeah, that's, you know, this one we did, this last one was a little bit clickbaity. I'm not talking about the live, you know, like it might have implied somebody thought somebody died. Nobody died. But I just don't want to get overly clickbaity. I want people to click on something and see it and feel like they got what they were looking for, not got duped into watching 5 minutes of something they didn't want to see. That's just me, you know. So we probably won't go into super clickbaity. Now, on this last video, we put live feeding gone wrong, which is kind of clickbaity, but it truly is showing a live feeding too that doesn't go as it should. So, you know, we'll get a little bit clickbaity, but usually, and what I'm not going to do is be like, you know what I mean, overly the top on it. I don't like that myself. So I'm not going to do it. You know, that's kind of me. Hey, I appreciate that, Lee. 906 grams. What do you ask about 906 grams for? You have to help me out on that. We try to. I mean, that's our goal. And our goal is, you know, we do. Yeah, 1-year-old 1,500 grams is really, really large. for a 1-year-old. So she's big enough. I mean, I don't know if pairing would hurt or anything, but likely she's not going to go. That seems on the big side. I do not own a king cobra, and it's just not something we have right now. That being said, you will be seeing an update on our zoo coming very soon. Our zoo is part of the Reptile shop we own, which is Manhattan Reptile World. And just dropped my pin I was playing with. And you will be seeing an update on that. We just filmed one. So it's coming. Cages are getting done. Animals are starting to move into cages. There's still some more work to go before it's ready to open, but it's coming. So not only, Wayne, but typically, yes. I mean, their name is Snake Eater if you break down the Latin. But you can get kings that'll eat rodents. The best way to do it is you're going to pay a lot more to get one started on rodents, but it's better. If you're going to get a king, get one that's eating that. And as far as next clutch updates, we need to do one. Basically, the problem is 14 was a struggle bus clutch, and 15, 16, and 17 are ready for updates. We may just skip 14 and do it later. That might be the best way to do it, So, I've seen that on YouTube. They don't care. That's fine. Using a rock to put a hole. What? No, know what you're talking about there. And sorry about the chameleon. They don't live very long lives. I mean, it's just unfortunate for them, and I'm sorry you had to lose one. Chameleons are pretty awesome, though. They do only care about cute animals, And it just cracks me up. Every time someone's like, man, you shouldn't feed animals to other animals. I'm like, the fuck do you think your cat eats? I mean, I can go get a bag of pet food right now. I'm sure I got 3 or 4 of them laying around. And look what's in it. It's going to have a bunch of stuff in it that's, animal-based. That'd be cool. I would never personally make a Venomoid, but I also wouldn't turn down the chance to handle one. Just saying. So, I don't believe in doing the Venomoids, but if there was one out there, if it's like, oh, you want to handle it? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Somebody asked about a rattlesnake morphs. Update on that as they're growing. We cannot, we couldn't breed them until our zoo's ready, licensing's ready, and all of that anyway. So we got to make sure we jump through the proper hoops. I really want to make sure we do everything on the up and up to the best of our ability. That's very important to me. And then when we're able to do that, we'll see if those morphs prove out. And the morphs I think you're talking about are the ones that are only in our collection and that nobody knows their genetic yet, which would be the blood reds and the acid, which is the hypomelanistic. So we'll see. We'll see. I can tell you the acid one has been growing great for me and eating. They got back to being very healthy after being a wild caught that wasn't doing so well. So there's that. And then the reds, the bloods, they're all doing great. My favorite whiskey or beer, I'm a Coors guy, but I also like me some, Devil's Cut is really good. It is made by Jim Beam. Very good whiskey. See, Riparian. I don't know what you mean by Riparian. Not sure what you mean. So, it's a little under 2 years. I missed part of that conversation. Again, comments come in so quick, I miss a lot of it. So, by retired breeder pythons. And they don't take my stuff down. They just demonetize it. They have taken it down. I had to fight to get it put back up. It's just a fight. The best place to look on that is probably there's a website, World of Ball Pythons, and you can just kind of go there and look at pictures, and then go to reptile shows and look at them. And just even if you're not buying, just look at all the snakes and look at what's in them and talk to the breeders there, and you'll kind of get an idea. So, and sure, I like it. Well, no. Bushcraft, I don't. I like Xanthic pinstripes, but I prefer the TSK line because that's what I work with. Now, VPI are great. It's just not what I have. But a VPI pinstripe is going to be very, very nice. So, Right, it is. But the problem is it wasn't somebody who complained. Oh, I got some complaints in the comments. They demonetized it the moment I hit to make it live. It went and demonetized. So it's just, it pisses you off. Oh, males? I breed my males about 600 grams usually. Like I said, Sarah, somebody else asked that. It's just Morph Market, World of Ball Pythons, and then go to reptile shows where you can actually see them in person. You know, like, why are GHI so much money? I don't think they're too crazy now, are they? Aren't they down to like a couple $100, which isn't bad for a single gene GHI? And then some of the combos, because they're pretty. I mean, here, I'll show you. This is why somebody asked for my prettiest Mojave. I would say probably this. It's not just straight Mojave, but this is kind of why GHIs are so much money, because they do this. You know, that's why. And if you can grab one for 175, that's not bad. But remember this, like, this is one thing to always kind of keep in mind when it comes to places like Morph Market and any place else like that. If you can go to a reptile show, even if you pay $15, $20, in that case $25 more, you don't have to ship it, right? So like, you're paying $25 more price, but you're paying $50 less shipping. So you're actually going to be saving some money, and that's cool. And then on top of that, there's something to be said for a snake you can put in your hand, a breeder you can talk to, and everything else. So like, I prefer to buy at a show from online. Now, have I bought online? Absolutely. I bought some really nice snakes online. I've never had a major problem, but it's, you know, you always got to look at that. What's good to breed a blue-eyed Lucy? Well, we'll probably be putting our Mystic Potion to one when it's ready. And then I've also thought about I'm really looking at putting my Suma to a bell next year. The reason is, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny because I think that GL, whatever it is trying to be a troll and doesn't realize we actually have a snake named Trouser. Or he's making a joke. I'm not sure which one it is. Andrew, you know me, but we'll probably be putting Suma maybe to bell, because if I put a Suma to a bell, I know every single snake will be a mahogany lesser, and that's pretty cool. So we may end up going that route. So, and don't be sorry, because Alex, I don't see it. Like, you gotta understand, there's times I'll get a chance to see comments, like right now, they'll also go blah, 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 and I'll miss 10 or 15 of them. So what is TH? I'm not sure what you're asking. And there's not really morph standards per se, you know, because there's not like a snake show where they're going to go and they're going to grade your GHI. So what I tell people when it comes to qualities, depends on what you want to make. Like, when I look at a gene with a specific project in mind, you know, I'll have, do I want it to do this, this, or this, or this? So I'll pick the one specific that looked the best for me. What should I name it? What I say goes, a female Mojave? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know his attitudes. I really can't. I thought I could come up with something really quick off the top of my head, and I couldn't. You know, the pastels start off very yellow, and I don't know why YouTube hates me, but they tend to golden out. So last season, we bred our bumblebee to a calico, and we got this little gem that I always wanted, who is looking rather angry today. Whoa. We got this little gem I always wanted when I did that pairing, and you can really see the calico influence in there. So what this is a calibi, and a calibi was one of the snakes I always liked. This is something I saw in World of Ball Pythons and just knew that one day I had to have it. I didn't want to buy it. I wanted to make it. So that is what we worked on doing. It's been in the coconut. It's all dirty. You're all dirty. But just a really, really cool looking snake. So I don't know if I get bit at anything in the world. Big snakes, I mean, I think you need to know what you're doing with them. I don't think jumping in and getting a retic or a berm is probably the smartest way to go. I'll tell you, the other day, I got to help pack up for moving, for transporting a big, like a literal big snake, probably close to a 20-foot retic. And man, letting that thing out and letting it get some exercise before you put it in there was just nuts. And I haven't seen a calico pied, but I imagine it'll come out mostly white, based off what I see with spider pies. So like it was just, oh man, they'll give you a workout, and it's a 2-person job. So that's what I'm getting at. And there is a super form for GHI. I don't have one. I probably will try to make one. So I need more bamboo stuff. It is a gene not many people work with. I don't have any, and I probably won't get any because, like I said, I got a lot of Bell complex stuff already. So as I'm trying to go into my collection, is trying to diversify and not do things that are so much the same. What was the question? I'll have to go back and find it. Yeah, it kind of is an expensive lesser, but it is different. Find that question. So it was good. Oh, we talked about that. You know, there's not really a more standard for this. It's more about what's going to go into your projects, and you have to just pick it based on that. I think it's just called the Super GHI. So, all right, guys. Tell you what. If everybody could do me a favor, and if there's a way to message YouTube, message them and tell them to stop demonetizing Olympus. And they also stop people from getting our notifications. I found that out. And everything else, I would really, really appreciate that. Yes, if you had a Super Mojave, which would be a bell with a gray head, and a Super GHI, and you bred them together, you would make every baby would be a Mojave GHI like that. So that's kind of how you'd be. You might. We didn't make it to KC this year because we just ran out of animals. We might still make it back. You'd have to breed it. Oh, we're talking about proven hets. What hets are we talking about there? I don't know which one we're talking about. And yes, David, most likely. I mean, every now and then you'll get something random or weird pop up. But yes, if you breed 2 normals, you're likely to get 2 normals. You know, this was a snake, though, that popped out of a pairing, where the snake looks very much like a pastel. However, you know, the pairing had no pastel in it. Like, and there was no retained sperm because it was, I'm the only person that bred the female, and she'd never been bred to a pastel. So it was kind of strange. We said goodbye to Bill Snyder today, Orca. He retired, and he's a legend here in Manhattan. Has been one of the greatest coaches, really helped put our town on the map. And so I wanted to take a chance, wear some K-State stuff, and just say the city appreciates him, and he'll be missed. And you know, we're pretty proud to have a football stadium with his name on it and his statue outside of it. So I did see that 2-headed copperhead. Man, I'd love to have that. That's one 2-headed snake that Barchek doesn't have, right? He loves his 2-headed snakes. He's got an adult, though. So I think it's going to go well for him now. Baby 2-headed snakes, just the survival rate on them is just crappy. But I would love to get it. I think it would look like a... Yeah, so you can get weird stuff occasionally, but it's kind of weird. Oh, I didn't hear it die. That's a bummer. But again, like I was just saying, you know, with young snakes, it's all too common that they just don't make it. I mean, it's not the way we're designed to be, you know. So chance of it living aren't good. And that's the thing, too. It's not really... because it's so no, Emmanuel, it's not. This is where genetics gets really confusing. So, like, I'm going to show you another visual het. You know what? One of our moderators doesn't have to just delete that message. You can actually just delete that person. Just based on the name, I don't think they need to be in here at all. That's some crap that we don't need around here. So I'm going to show you a het animal that you probably won't realize is het. Let's go with, we gotta pick one. That's not a good example of what I want to do. You're not a good example of what I want to do. You're definitely not a good example. You're not a good example either. Let me find something here. We will You're not. You're a good example. So, somebody asked about a scaleless head, the only visual head. And I want to kind of go a little bit of genetics here. This is a visual head, and this is a lesser. So what I mean by that is it's truly a heterozygous lesser. So whenever you make a superform of this and you have a homozygous lesser, you're going to get something that looks more like this. The problem is the name super makes it confusing. But both are visual, heterozygous, homozygous. That makes sense. So anything that has a super form, actually anything can be heterozygous. I'm not going to stop making videos. I just get pissed off at YouTube occasionally. So hopefully that kind of lets you go. Now, when you start dealing with truly recessive genes, and scaleless is not a truly recessive gene. The reason it's not a truly recessive is because I can see the scaleless head. It's very evident. So it's not what I would consider a true recessive. A true recessive gene, you're not usually going to see anything. There are markers that can be there, but if you had a consistent marker, like if I could say that every pied, every single het pied had tracks on the belly, every single one of them had that, and normals didn't, then it wouldn't really be a truly recessive gene, because you'd be able to visually see a heterozygous pied, making it more of an incomplete dominant gene. Kind of like the lesser I just showed you. But it's kind of gets confusing because we give them all these new terms like super, which really doesn't fit. If we just thought of everything as heterozygous and homozygous, would be a much better situation. And I don't know if we'll make it to Tinley this year. We'd like to go to Tinley. The problem comes in is shit just keeps coming up in October. Like a couple years ago, it was 3 years ago I made it. 2 years ago, I was out of town with Question Girl. And last year, I was at a wedding for Kurt. Hopefully he doesn't have any more of those. Hopefully I don't either. We're both on number 2. And so we do miss those for those kind of things. Yeah, that's just, family is always going to come first. And there is a March Tinley, and I think that I may end up having to start looking at going to March Tinley instead of October Tinley. But this year I probably won't go. And recessives can't be dominant because they just, I mean, you have to have, has to be homozygous to show. So about them Cowboys. Ugh. I would love to make it to Pomona, but California is a long, long, long haul. So we probably won't be doing that. And maybe one day we will, Brian. Kurt really likes them. So we'll see. And David, Question Girl is at a conference for her union. She will be back tomorrow. So she is out of town at the moment, and I'm having to eat bachelor food. It's been terrible. And I'm trying to keep the house together so when she comes home, she ain't too pissed, you know. Good feedings. How can you have good feedings? I get kicked out for that. I'm jealous. I haven't. You know, we've been really fortunate. We've been pretty disease-free. When things do come up, I mean, we've had like a few things start showing a few types of symptoms through our eye that we just treat instantaneously for putting in some more heat and just taking care of it. So I think Blackhead Spider's pretty cool. I know he isn't. That was kind of my way of making sure people heard that he has feed videos so he could get a little love. I'm not really mad at him. It's one of those things. Ugh. Dale, I don't know. You might go through and clean. It might be time for a tub cleaning. Like give the tub a good clean and a good scrubbing and see what's going on. Trip B. I'm curious who Trip B is. Just because there's a triple B. I have seen a false cobra, but a false cobra is still a rear-fanged venomous snake. It probably wouldn't kill you, but it can suck if you get popped. So just because it says false cobra, you still got to treat them with some respect. Nothing like, they're not, like I say, you're not going to die from one, but do treat it with some respect. That is a carpet python over there. It's actually to my left, but the video reverses everything. So could be on the BCI. I'm not sure. Sure, you can try to get my opinion if I get a chance to read it. To read it before it goes away. There's no gene for that yet that I know of. I know there was a really clickbaity picture of one time, and but you really can't get true blue yet. Not like you can get some blue tints, some blue hues in places, and but it's not a true right. And I am not modding my own comments. That's for sure. I'm letting y'all do that. How's Reaper? Reaper's doing good. Reaper will take breaks off of feed this time of year, but he is back feeding pretty good right now. I think microscale makes a full scaleless, kind of like a scaleless head makes a full scaleless. Don't know. Don't have any, so I'm not going to say they're the same or not, but the end results are definitely the same. So, I think Marcus J and Exantix, I want to say they got proven to be the same as another line. And what basically happened is the reason he had the Marcus Jane tag on it is he didn't know, he never thought he had Exanthic in his collection. He was breeding for pieds and out popped the lightning pied. So obviously there was Exanthic there, but he didn't know where it came from. So rather than trying to say it's the EPI or cis or cis, he just said, hey, it's Marcus Jane, because he knew it'd be compatible with things from his collection, but maybe not anything else. And somebody had to go through and try. And Nathan, my thoughts on the Super Cinnamon are this. I think that it's one that I'm going to end up trying, and what we're doing black pastel is basically the same thing. But I think you have to really control your incubation really, really tight, and we're going to see what happens with that. Now, if it doesn't work, then we're going to stop doing it. But if it does work, then we'll have a way of kind of making them, I'm hoping. I saw one of him one time, and are you talking about? Are you guys talking about Viper Keeper? Viper Keeper I've watched a lot of Viper Keeper. He's pretty neat. Although I wouldn't do some of the things he does. He has way more experience than me, and he's still alive. So, And a Sumatide won't have the same issues as a Panda. Suma's stable. Okay, Suma is a stable thing. There's no kinking issues with Suma. There's no duckbill issues with Suma. There's none of those genetic issues with Suma. So Suma is a way to go very, very dark while keeping everything stable, which is what is so stinking exciting about that project. That's why I bought one. So we're definitely doing that. What's his name? The Jungle Jag. Let me tell you, that was whenever I got divorced. And thank you, too, before I tell the story for the super chat. But that was the first snake I got back after I got divorced. So I went and got back into snakes, and I picked this up, and I named him Kronos. So he is Cronos, Kronos, which if you look at, and I picked that name because I've always named my reptiles after mythological characters, and Kronos was a Titan who, predates even the gods. So he was kind of the beginning, and that was why I went with that name. So, and then the other carpet python, which is not a jag, it's just a normal one. Its name is Soul because it's so bright, it's like the sun. So that's kind of where his name came from, because he was first, and Kronos was the leader of the Titans, which predates even the gods. I have not named one ET. Right, Kronos is a Titan. He did actually eat his kids, and I don't think he got killed. I think he was imprisoned, if my memory serves. He might have eventually got killed. But Kronos hopefully doesn't eat his children one day. And I've had a Rhea too, Brian. Rhea was my first female carpet. And she, unfortunately, she was this really big, beautiful coastal. And she was supposed to be a coastal jungle, or a coastal. Sorry, she was supposed to be not a coastal. I take that back. She was supposed to be a diamond crossed with a jungle, but it looked more like a coastal jungle to me. And anyway, we did breed her. He was trapped in hell. No, Kronos lives with me. It's kind of the same thing. And she was my only adult snake I've ever lost to death, and she went egg bound. Now, she was pretty old when we first bred her, so I maybe that was part of it. It was been our first clutch, and unfortunately we lost Rhea. So I like jungle better. I like the colors way better than I do on the coastal. It's just a brighter yellow, but it's kind of the eye of the beholder. I mean, the coastals can get bigger, so if you want big, coastal's the way to go. And anything with the Jag gene has some coastal blood in it because Jag came out of the coastals. So I miss them about the albino. Oh man, stick. If you got a calico, you can stick with about anything. I love what calico does with spider. I love what it does with spider. I love what it does with pastel, and I love what it does with bumblebee. So if you can stick to a bumblebee, you'll be happy. That would be my best advice. And we tried breeding carpet pythons once, and that was when we lost our female. And unfortunately, that didn't go so well. But we are growing up a new female. We're going to do that again. Thank you, reptile lovers. It's always about snakes and being angry at YouTube, but every now and then we got to throw a little bit of personal in there. And if you live in Manhattan, Kansas, if you've ever been through Manhattan, Kansas, the impact that Bill Snyder's had it's impossible to miss. So it would be a remiss with us, or remiss, I'm probably using that wrong. We would be, I feel, wrong to do a video today and not at least mention him, because I know a lot of people aren't. I finally had a minute of champagne. Yes, I'm trying. And Kurt's at home. He's not here when we do the lives usually. I know that a lot of people aren't into football, they're into snakes, but he has just been such a person in this town that's made great strides for the city and has tried to always do things the right way. I have a huge respect for him. So I definitely wanted to let that out. And never an adult retic. I think I've been popped by a baby once or twice. That's about it. So black pastel, 50% albino to pair her with. Oh man, probably an albino. See if it's het, and if you can get some black pastel albinos, that would be awesome. So get an albino and put them together. You're with Kerr on the champagne. I know a lot of people are, but I'm telling you, man, champagnes can be good. Flame and fire, different pride. I only keep fire because I think a lot of that's going to end up being kind of, marketing, but I don't know. I don't have it. So I will not get a retic with a new place. A new place, well, I'm still going to focus on some of the same things I focus on now. We're just going to be able to have more of it as, we want to expand, which is really the good thing. And I don't even keep bugs. Bugs creep me out, so I have it. So yeah, if we breed anything new, it'll still be smaller species of pythons. I mean, the biggest thing we're going to get lengthwise will probably be indoor carpets. And we may also eventually get into some blood pythons. Kurt really wants to do that someday, so we might do that. I'd like to get some arboreal, some green tree pythons, but the berms and the retics just take up too much space. So I probably won't get into that. And boas are cool. We just don't do it because I'm terrified of the IBD situation. So I don't think there's a lot of difference in the two. I mean, we picked up a freeway because it was what was there. So we kind of went that direction, and now we'll kind of stick to that direction. But if we'd have found a highway first we liked, we'd have went that way. So kind of the same thing. And hongnoses are cool, but you got to be careful where you live because of the venomous nature of them. I mean, they're rear fang venomous snake that cannot really harm a human, but still not allowed in some places. Are you serious? All boas, or is it a certain length of boa? Because I don't see how they could outlaw an Amazon tree boa. Or, they don't get really big. They're really cool looking snakes, big wide heads, mean little bastards, but really neat looking snakes. And I probably want to do colubrids. I mean, maybe, but doubt it. And yes, that is true. It's possibility on the voltas. 16 is on the larger side. The voltas are bigger and can have more eggs. So, all right, guys. If I could breed a titanium boa, I would do that just to do it once. Oh, yeah, that's what IBD is. It's a Boyd disease, so it affects both boas and pythons. But boas can sit there with it forever and not have it ever really show up, And then if it gets in your pythons, it's usually about 3 to 4 months and they're dead, and it can spread. They don't really know how it spreads. The latest articles I've read is they think it spreads from blood to blood transfusion. So that means that, like, the perfect storm would be if you had IBD and didn't realize it, and an animal, and then you had a mite break out. If you keep enough snakes, you're going to get a mite or two every now and then. It's going to happen. You shouldn't get them all throughout your own room very often. You got to notice it, treat it, take care of it. But you're going to bring something in from the outdoors, or somebody else have to treat it occasionally. But if you don't catch that right away, or that mite will transmit that disease and it can wipe through your collection. And once you've had IBD in your ball python collection, that's going to kind of be attached to your name for a long time. And it's really hard to ever get over that. Crypto, I think, can affect both of them, but the IBD is kind of like snake AIDS. It's really scary. So I don't keep any boas because I don't want to lower the chances of ever having that happen. So I do sell regular ball pythons. We usually sell everything on Patreon first. We usually do those for like $20. So yeah, $20 is what I normally do for regulars. And sometimes too, like if they clear Patreon and clears, like go to a show, we'll sell them at a show. And we do have some people that will just buy all of our normals to stock shelves at retail stores as well. So that happens occasionally. We'll do kind of a wholesale on them from time to time, because typically people don't want to buy a normal online. And the reason is because like, yeah, it's $20, but then it's like $55 to ship it. Like, that's what when it gets it. So it's hard to even compete with the Petcos of the world because the shipping's so high. All right, guys, we've been at this for just a bit over an hour, so I am probably going to hop up off of here, and I always list what the normals are het for, or if they're a possible het. Oh shit, I don't know. I mean, if they're all run at the same time. Here's the thing, though. It's like, I mean, you can sit there and do the math, and I have. But I'll show you something. If you look now, 2 racks aren't even running because they're not filled with anything at the moment. And those will tell you the temperature, but it's not going to have to work super hard to maintain that. Let me show you what I mean. This one's showing you that there's your temperatures and they're pulling no power right now. Now, as it cools, it'll begin to pull power, and we'll show you the percentage of power it's using on this herb stat over here, whereas this is showing you the temperature on the probe. But so they're not on all the time. I mean, you're going to pay for it, but it's nothing crazy. So, all right, guys. In closing, much love to Bill Snyder. Manhattan will miss you, and good luck to you in your retirement. And YouTube, you suck, but we're still here anyway, and we still love our snakes. All right, guys, I'm going to get off of here. Damn you, what's that? I missed something. So I got to hop off here, Reptile Noon. We'll catch y'all later. And, I suck. Oh, Dalton, my feelings are hurt now. But yet you're here watching me, so if I suck, why are you here? Oh, wait a minute. That's right, because you're spending your time watching something. That's kind of funny. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. We'll catch y'all now, and y'all have a good night.